Many thanks for choosing us this afternoon. First, child prostitution, drug abuse, counterfeit operations, and suspected human trafficking. That is what a joint task force of military and the Forestry Commission personnel discovered deep in the Subri River Forest Reserve in the western region. What was thought to be a small illegal mining camp turned out to be a hidden community of over 10,000 inhabitants. Details in this report by Inatalia Konsa. Read to you.
Subri River Forest Reserve in Ghana's western region lies a hidden community, a sprawling illegal mining settlement known as Abewa. Home to more than 10,000 people, it has grown far beyond a makeshift village. This is no ordinary encampment. It's a full-blown enclave with its own shadow economy, one sustained by child prostitution, drug abuse, counterfeit operations, and suspected human trafficking. In a dawn raid, a joint task force made up of military personnel and the Forestry Commission stormed the enclave. What they expected to be a hideout for about 2,000 illegal miners turned out to be a bustling community with over 10,000 inhabitants, many of them foreign nationals from Nigeria, Guinea, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali.
This place, it's an eyesore. The place is full of illegal miners with all manner of activities within this community. We've seen incidents of child trafficking, child prostitution, drug abuse, money laundering, counterfeit, you name them. And we are getting nationals from all over the sub-region. It appears this community is a representation of ECOWAS. We have people from other neighboring West African countries, from the Sahelian regions, from Guinea, from Niger, from Burkina Faso, from Nigeria, from Mali, and all of them are here. And this is a rural community. Why are they here? You can tell that there is no place within the community that they are mining. They are mining in the Subri Forest Reserve. And the effect on the impact of the illegal mining on the forest is very devastating. So as you can see, we raided this community. We managed to get rid of the entire illegal hub that was probably constructed by these illegal miners as a hub. And in fact, what we've seen here is an eyesore. We managed to rescue some few foreign young Nigerians. One of them confided in us that her madam brought her the kind of work that she's expected her to do, she's not going to do. And clearly such a minor is being trafficked and involved in prostitution right here in this village.
Among those found were trafficked girls from Nigeria, lured with false promises and forced into the sex trade. Young boys were also discovered, many addicted to substances like tramadol. The team says this is just the beginning. The operation will continue for the next 2 weeks as authorities vow to dismantle the entire settlement and reclaim the forest reserve.
It's not going to be a 9-day wonder, as I said. We are going to be here for nearly 2 weeks and make sure the last illegal miner is ready from this community. I've always been sounding a caution, and I'll use your medium to sound a caution. Notice is here by self. I want all the miners to get out of this community. Get out of the forest reserves. Get out of our rivers.
As Ghana's forests come under increasing threat from illegal mining, Abewa stands as a stark reminder of how deep-rooted and dangerous the crisis has become.
Definitely a developing story. We'll keep an eye on that and bring you every details that will come from the developments. But still on illegal mining, the Minister for Land and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofibua, has issued a stern warning to potential miners, stating that mining activities within forest reserves and water bodies will be met with severe consequences. Speaking at the passing out ceremony of the Blue Water Guard, the minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to protecting Ghana's natural resources.
Our goal is to see to diligent miners grow into medium-scale operators and eventually become large-scale miners. But the caveat is to guide them to mine responsibly and sustainably. That means that mining in our forest reserve and our pristine water bodies will be a deadly business. And as the Army has emphasized, going forward, any attempt to mine gold in our forest reserve and our water bodies will be a deadly business. And we mean it. To achieve this, we identify and reward excellence. We are talking about program of excellent mining. Special program is being established to provide phase support, technical training, access to financing, and advanced equipment to small-scale miners who will adhere to sustainable practices to expand their operations responsibly and legally.
Away from illegal mining, the Ghana Police Service is raising red flags over growing threats to its officers and their families in Bawku and surrounding areas in the Upper East region. In a leaked wireless message, the Inspector General of Police has banned the movement of personnel and their relatives into the area, citing security concerns. Officers already deployed for operations in Bawku have been directed to wear protective gear and move only under armored escort for their safety. Now, let's engage my colleague Maxwell Agbagba with our security desk, and he joins me via Zoom. Maxwell, what more can you tell us about this new development?
Yes, indeed, this police wireless message came just some hours ago, and we've been cross-checked with our sources from the Ghana Police Service, and it's also been confirming to us that yes, indeed, they have received the message with clear instructions from the Inspector General of Police. It is written in security-coded language. The opening part talked about how the message was sent by the Director General of the Police Administration informing all police personnel not to travel to Bawku and its environs. Secondly, also, the message states clearly that the Inspector General of Police has instructed that police personnel, together with their family members, should not travel to Kumasi and Bawku together with its adjoining communities because of the situation there. And it clearly states that police personnel are now becoming a target of the conflict there. It moves on to actually state that for police personnel who are currently on operational duty in Bawku, they are supposed to be in their protective clothing all the time, in their protective gear all the time, and they're supposed to move with armored escort. And so this is a clear instruction, coming from the Inspector General of Police. And this affects both in areas like Kumasi and then St. It affects police personnel who are both indigents and non-indigents, of the area. It goes ahead, it's concluded, in the concluding part, it also mentions Garu as also one of the dangerous places that police personnel, should not travel to. So this is a message that we're getting from the wireless message released by the Ghana Police Service. Earlier today, there was a press conference that was scheduled to take place sometime around 9 a.m. That press conference was cancelled. We do not have clarity on what the press conference was about, whether it was Bawku. We do not have clarity, on that. But that press conference was called up, and the reason why it was called up was not stated.
You. Now, while West MP and Vice Chairperson of Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee, Peter Tobu, has described the Bawku conflict as a national crisis. Speaking on PMS Press on JoyNews, the retired police officer urged the government to adopt a more strategic, impartial and coordinated approach to conflict resolution in the area.
We talk about the proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons in this country is a big challenge, and we all believe that we need to do something very seriously to prevent it, very particularly in a volatile area like Bawku. It is possible that some people will be interested in radicalizing the youth. It is possible that people in armed trade will be making a lot of money from the area. So whatever it is, the challenge is that we should treat this conflict as a national conflict that requires some level of sophistication in handling it. And that is why I support His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana. When he was sworn in within the week, he said Bawku is a priority. And he demonstrated that. So we have the political will now to do what is needful. And he's appointed Otumfo. Otumfo-led mediation team is the one that will have to drive the solutions.
Also speaking on PM Express, ranking member of Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee, Reverend John Etimfojo, warned that the conflict now reflects open hostility towards state authority. He stressed the agent's need for swift and decisive action to restore order.
Given the strategic location of Bawku, not bordering our northern neighbors and also close to Togo, we are aware, the recent threats of extreme actions and terrorism in the South region. And therefore, the continued instability of Bawku is very dangerous for the security of this country. Reports indicate that the conflict keeps spreading. It has spread all the way to Northeast region. There are recent reports suggesting that it's also spread to Ahafo region. We do not have to wait to such a time when Ahafo and Northeast conflict also become full-blown to the level that we are seeing. But the immediate steps that we need to take, which we have suggested to government, one, is for the security agencies to investigate the causes of the immediate escalation we have seen. That those have to be investigated and addressed immediately.
Now, the new Metropolitan Chief Executive for Kumasi, Richard Ofori Ajiman-Boidi, says the Assembly may resort to corporal punishment in dealing with congestion in the city. He observed several attempts by former city mayors to instill sanity in the central business district have failed due to lack of political will and the failure of the police to arrest and prosecute people violating bylaws. Nanaya Ojima was at a press conference and has filed this report.
The Kumasi Metropolitan Chief Executive, Richard Ofori Boadi, has signaled all persons occupying pavements and unauthorized spaces in the central business district of the city to vacate ahead of a major decongestion exercise on Wednesday. The newly confirmed city mayor says his administration intends to use sustainable means to ensure a lasting solution to the problem. Mr. Boadi indicated his routine tour of the city will include a group of men who will administer the instant punishment.
So I have my own democratic military style, which I'll be implementing. When we say leave this space, and you don't leave this space, and I get there, I am not lucky, and my boys are with me, there and then, we'll beat you. There, in the middle of a doom. If you're not lucky, if I'm alone, you'll be lucky. But if I'm there, and my 10 boys are in their pickup with me, with their hips, trust me, we'll beat you. If you don't want to experience that kind of situation, do that which is right and which is lawful. This is Otumfuo City. This is the Asantehene City. This is the Garden City of West.
The Kumasi mayor says persons who have erected metal structures on the road for their trading activities will also be dealt with.
If you're on the pavements, just adjust. We'll be able to bear with it for some time. Not perpetually. We'll be able to bear with it for some time. But please, in the middle of dual carriages, we will not encourage anybody to be there. And then if anybody is erected any pole on a tire rim and it's on asphalt, that one, within 2 weeks, they themselves must take it out. I'll not come and drive you. Within 2 weeks, take steps. If you have any metal pole erected on a rim, which is on an asphalt, anywhere within the central business district, please take steps. Because after 2 weeks, after 14 days from today, we'll work at night. Every rim, every metal that we see on the streets in a dome will be given to scrap, free of charge.
For JoyNews, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Now let's cross over to Clinton Yeboah, who is at a doom for some reaction from the traders. Now, to flog or not to flog? Clinton, what have the traders been telling you? Clinton, if you can hear me.
Hello, MFI, if you can hear me, decongestion efforts in Kumasi has been one issue that has been battling the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, and a visible sight to see when you get on the streets of Kumasi traders selling on the street, hawkers also moving around on the street, blocking pavements and blocking roadways. But in reaction to this, we have heard from the mayor, who says now that the method or the strategy to getting people from the street wouldn't be mediation or dialogue, but also brutal force. We are in a doom currently to gauge the mood and the reaction from traders on what they make of the new strategy to be employed by the mayor. But me udi jawaha mayor chere baby udi jano unauthorized place say aban ma okwan se didwa e wo ha entino ye koyenim no obetu adwadefo nyina afiri ha wo na wano aduane bebo wo de asem na woka
yo de mayor kana ye no kre ekwan mu tena de enye emwa ye adwadefo no kra chere say ka bi kra ti free na eba betimi abetwi afa ye so na emom no sese ye ni baby te ye wie market ena ye chere ya baby a ye tena ton ade yi sese ye ho no so ne ja to we ye dwu ho railway si chere ha so a ka ye betimi awura ho akotena tena ho kakra se ho so ye dwu ho eti de o kan de ye no krepa no ho kan na emom ne ha ye pa ne se e ma mre what say ye wo so oba wo de aba na besi ye so sebi eno de entwe ye eye kasa kire ene wom mema menuanom menananom menua memamu mesramu sese ye pese ye kuro ni ye enti baby kakra sei monko chia won kakra kopem tama ye be wie market no ana kagitia na ehye ye no ye be ni ye ana se blue light na ehye ye no on be ni ye ame ya akotena wo na panse kwan na ye se ye tena ne de ye kra ye kase ye bojo so a ne ye boa ena ye wo baby so wo a ye timi tena nchen kakra ebe ye a ye be sori afri kwan ni mu kra ye be timi edru tama ye be wie asafu market na omu nyina de bekwa akogo ye nyina ye pekro ni ye ba esi ye kro yi mu da wot sa brochira enti ki ye pe na emom wo ba no ye de akoma pa na eje no na emom de wi a o se obebu ye no de nyame anim no kro ni ye sere no eno de entwa ye fi se ye nyankola no aboye ma no ato.
What she's trying to say, or what she's saying, is that she understands and they acknowledge the security implications of selling on the streets. However, they are courting and counting on the mayor and city authorities to facilitate the construction of markets, the stored markets in Kumasi, so that if they are leaving these streets or they are leaving these pathways, they have a place to move on. What they are also complaining about is the strategy that the mayor now seeks to employ, which they feel is unfair, considering that they have their livelihoods on the line. I would engage more traders and gauge their mood to the situation. Ma'am, also told the mayor can be a DJ. They are some now.
Oh, I am no crack, baby. I'm a DJ, and yes, I am DJ. If Sabato me, my men and na ye nidja ewo kwam na mom sese ahokyira abaga nanti ena ma ye te kwam eye no kra ye ti ayedwen ye nkwa ho pa ka betima betwi afa so ama yewu so what I say tembia ebitwi ema ye nuanom ebi esufre aban eti hana ye te ne ye kra ye bonyu so eti esra me yo se onya abotre mai no mo hwehwe ba bi kama no mo mfa ye nko ne ye nyina so ofri ekwam afa so wo so obebo ye aburo ne de ye pana chaw ompa chaw ho kra ompa chaw ho ya nyankura no aboye sebe na nakosi agima ba e wa amoye ma party ba e wa amoye no abeka che se ye obetwe abasi so if say next sebe ye ma ya wo mu kra ne ye ntimi ntwe abasi wo mu so eti waka ye sere no ye gitum but on hwehwe ba bi ma ye manuato.
I can see more traders geared up to react and also share their thoughts on the new strategy and the new enforcement coming from the mayor. Papa, also di jawaha meeting komo me hwe se de now here ni e de asem na woka.
De tell say wo mu say yetokwa ho de e kwa na yete ne yepe ene ye de te ha. Eno ma bi na asisi ana ma yete kwa ho. Ba bi a yete ene say ekira na ne yete ene ja to ho ahye. Woma sa atwubudeza asa bebubu reresuo nyina ana ahaso se okase baby race course so kase race course da brebie no ayeko eti no ya fene san mayo sampai bae no o se center market yenwie from Jomu it is hard ya young party nkyɛn tiɛte eti ɛkɔm wɔ ma yɛnyɛ firi kɔm hɔ ɛbɛtrɛtrɛ nkyɛn sɛ yɛwie center market a ana yɛwie kuro from jana na yɛnyina na yɛdɛ yɛkɔ ana sese nso center market yɛwie ana sese jana asahye no so baabi ahye no on sɛ baabi a wogyina yɛkyi ha ya ɛna ahye eti yɛdi baabi a kwantimayo no onya abotrɛ na ɔmpɛ baabi a ɔhɔ kama race course da breni hɔ ana sese nso baabi aka so de abɛkɔ no jiso ɔpɛ baabi pamayen center market so na nkɛbɛn a ifi sɛ nkɛbɛtimi aboa yɛn ɛno so yɛnwie eti so okɔdua na aka sɛ wodi aba na adebabu yɛn ɛsabi yɛnyɛ nkola ana sese nso yɛni soja aban democracy ɛne sese democracy na sese a yɛdi hini wɔ sese asase we so eti so ɔka sɛ wodi aba wodi ubetwem ababu ya nene se woni asanteman ani asem no ka akwasem ko pa asanteman kyɛw efi sɛ yenye sabi yenye moa na ade aba be kan so efi sɛ nipa ne to abaye dai ɛma ho efi sɛ enye yanto aba ma wa anka wo ma ma yo no edika hu sɛ nipa na wo bedie so na wodi ma wo so wodi ma ana ade babu yani na next time wobetimi asa ba anim sɛ wo sa bepɛ your friend so say be pay your vote say yensa ntoma wo dia baba bu ye ne a untimi say ma say yensa ntu yensa untimi say ma say yensa ma vote eti wende onya abotre e ma yen na say obenya baby papa bi ama yen a ye bekọ.
So what these traders are essentially saying is that they have nowhere to go and their only hope is for the stored markets to be completed. And one thing that they mention now is the fact that the Blue Light Arena, which is in Edum and caught fire, the market area that caught fire, has also brought a lot of them on the street since they have nowhere to be trading. What they also talk about is that the mayor should reconsider the strategy for which he wants to instill discipline and get them off the street. I have been reporting from Edum Blue Light Arena. My name is Clinton Yeboah for JoyNews.
Thank you, Clinton. And away from Edum, the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, has uncovered a highly sophisticated illegal power connection at Da Dingbe Suite, a hotel in Tamale. The hotel, which hosts about 20 air-conditioned rooms, had been under surveillance by NEDCO after officials observed unusual low electricity consumption. At one point, the hotel's power usage reportedly dropped to just 1 cedi, despite the significant load being drawn by the transformer, raising serious suspicion.
Authorities of NEDCO have described the power theft at the Dadingbe suite as a more complex form of power theft it has uncovered. 50% of NEDCO's losses is in the northern sector, and 70% of that loss is found in the Tamale metropolis. NEDCO continues to raise concerns over illegal connections in the area. Speaking to the media, the corporate communications manager of NEDCO, Maxwell Kutuka, said the hotel had buried the cables tapping the power from the transformer, but also designed a complex switch over where they are able to steal power on without being noticed.
An alternate connection to your generator. You switch over to the genset when you are sourcing power from the genset, and then you switch back to the grid when you are on the grid. In this case, it is on the grid when they have mercy on us, and then when they decide to do their own thing, presumably during the peak hours, then they switch to their own sub-generation, which is a sub-distribution, which is illegal. And it is very important to acknowledge that as they do all this, we observed over time that they were not buying power. There were instances where within a whole week, whatever they bought was some pittance, 500 cedis or less. Meanwhile, we are aware of the quantum of power that gets to the place. And so
still on power theft, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapor, has revealed that half of all power losses recorded by the Northern Electricity Distribution Company originate from the northern sector, with a staggering 70% of those losses connected or contracted in Tamale alone. He attributed the alarming figures to widespread power theft, describing it as a major challenge undermining NEDCO's operations. The minister made these remarks during the working visits to the region.
NEDCO in recent times has raised concerns over illegal connection, especially during peak hours. The company says most of its losses can be attributed to power theft. Speaking to the media after meeting with stakeholders and inspecting some projects under construction, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapor, said the illegal connection in the Tamale area was way above the norm. The Energy Minister called on the people to cooperate during the revenue mobilization.
One of the major problems we are facing in the NEDCO area has to do with the northern sector. Indeed, when you look at the losses within the northern sector, over 50% of the losses alone is attributable. Within the NEDCO area, over 50% is attributable to the northern sector. And within the northern sector, over 70% comes from Tamale. So it means that we're having huge losses in what you call the ATCC losses. We've met the regional minister. We've also met all the stakeholders to let them understand that without revenue, it will be very difficult to complete projects such as this. This project is being undertaken on the back of the balance sheet of NEDCO. And so if they don't get the revenues, they will surely not be able to supply the power.
Chairperson of Parliament's Select Committee on Lands and Natural Resources, Collins Dauda, is calling on the management of Newmont Africa's Ahafo North project to prioritize significant economic investment in the surrounding communities. The gold mining operation located in the Ahafo region is about 60% complete, with commercial production expected to begin by mid-2025. During a tour on the site with other committee members, Mr. Dauda stressed the need for host communities to benefit fairly from the mine's socio-economic potential. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku reports.
North Project is the latest gold mining site of Ghana's largest gold producing company, Newmont Africa. The mining project officially commenced in 2023, with commercial production expected to begin in the coming months. It is estimated to produce between 230,000 and 300,000 ounces of gold annually, with an expected lifespan of 14 years. The mine will employ at least 5,000 workers, both direct and indirect, with significant local content. Charles Bissiu is the manager of the Ahafo North project of Newmont Africa.
We are never in doubt that the success of these mines depends on the collaborative effort between Newmont, the government of Ghana, the communities, and our business partners. We can only remain on top if we maintain the excellent relationship with our partners such as you, and continue to operate with the utmost value of safety of our workforce, and also the integrity of contributing our quota to the development of Ghana through taxes and royalties.
The project is currently undertaking some socio-economic projects in its host communities, including a free park room, given the insurgents that has since plagued some gold mining towns like Obuasi. Parliament Select Committee on Lands and Natural Resources is admonishing more investment into the mine's catchment to curtail any potential social unrest. NP for Esutifi South constituency, Collins Dauda, is the chairman of the committee.
Some of the members have traveled to Johannesburg. They know how Johannesburg looks like. Some of them have had the benefit of visiting Denver, which is a mining city. The expectation of this committee is that before you are 20 years into your life, let's see a drastic change of the face of the communities in this area. We don't want Ahafo North to look like Obuasi. We don't want half enough to be treated like Takwa. If you go to Takwa and you drive on their roads, you begin to ask yourself, is it a Takwa where we have mined gold? Even before when I was born, or was the same? It cannot be. So I entreat you to prioritize the development of the area.
Meanwhile,
Now, Dr. Peter Boama Otokuno, Director of Presidential Initiatives in Agriculture and Agribusiness, has defended the government's decision to include senior high schools in the Feed Ghana program. Speaking on the Super Morning Show, Dr. Otokuno emphasized that SHS have the capacity to produce enough food to meet their students' needs. He revealed that the government spent approximately 2.2 billion Ghana cedis on food for SHS in 2024 only. Well, Dr. Otokuno also highlighted the importance of increasing maize production to support the government's poultry farm initiative, stressing that more maize is essential for the production of feed. Well, we'll bring you videos of when he was saying that. But one thing a lot of you keep asking is, how different is this from the previous government's Planting for Food and Jobs program? Well, look at this. On your screen, maybe you've seen, but just bringing you that again. Now, allocation for initiatives under the Ministry of Food and Agriculture 2025 in focus. So out of the 58.64 allocation to the ministry, we have 924 out of the 58.64 total. Now, we'll also go on to the next one and give you the key initiatives under Feed Ghana program. First, establish farmer service centers for mechanization, training, input, finance, market access, and processing. 2, scale up production, prioritize sorghum cultivation. 3, reduce imports, invest in controlled farming, and promote school and community gardens. As well, 4, encourage schools and institutions to engage in crop and livestock farming to complement the school feeding program and inspire careers in agriculture. 5, supports the production of 4 million birds, 10,000 metric tons of chicken, and register 55,000 households to rear 5,000 birds annually, and also promote cattle, pig, and ruminant rearing with improved breeds, veterinary services, and incentives as well. Also, 7, focus on oil palm, cashew, mango, and rubber development. Introduce a national palm oil industry policy. 8, develop agro-production enclaves to attract investment and boost processing. 9, offer concessional loans for export-oriented and value-added agricultural enterprises. And now let's bring you some difference, or let's just oppose the two policies: Planting for Food and Jobs versus Feed Ghana project. So for Planting for Food and Jobs, it focused on value chain advance and private sector driven. And also Feed Ghana project it focuses on smart agriculture and is institution driven, while the use of agriculture platform to streamline services to farmers was under the Planting for Food and Jobs. The use of service centers and mechanization to coordinate farmers, you'd find that at the Feed Ghana project as an element, and also targeted 1.2 million farmer enrollment in agribusiness under the Planting for Food and Jobs. And then the Feed Ghana project targets institutions, households, and communities as well. Also, for broad focus across 11 commodity value chain, the Feed Ghana project says that it is specific subsectors like grains, poultry, vegetable, etc. focused. And then again, for planting for food and jobs, inputs are increased through zero interest in kind credit, while for the Feed Ghana project, inputs are assessed through concessional loans. Also, for the planting for food and jobs, it was targeted to 210,000 new farm-related jobs annually, while employment is more indirect and community-based under the Feed Ghana project. As well, this is how the trend looks like between 2025 to 2025 on food price hikes, average annual inflation, which you can see for 2025, it dropped from 48.9% in 2023 to 2024. But it starts from 2015 with the lowest of 7.48, and went all the way through to the highest that we'd seen in that period between 2015 to 2024 at the peak of 48.92, and the current data suggests that it's at 24.72. Also, average food inflation rate for Q1 for 2025, that's between January and March, is 27.63%. That's Q1. And also some outstanding Feed Ghana program policies from the 2024 manifesto, just by way of recapping. Establish sugar factory in Salaga, also implement aqua cage culture project for sustainable aquaculture, and also revive abundant ranches, farms, meat factories in Wolugu, Swarugu, Bong, Aveime, and Adidome as well. Well, still to come, Kwabri East engineers demolished 20 illegal structures on waterways to prevent floods. Please stay with us.